Okay, how are we doing? I want to talk about a couple of things today. It's like a short video that I'm going to do, it's sort of like an announcement. I'm going to put it in the announcement spot on Blackboard. The first thing is the question of deadlines. The first paper I think for the U.S. history class, I by mistake I put in October 5th. I thought I fixed it. I didn't. And then I put on a sheet that it was October 14th. And then I had to put an announcement that it was October 14th for the first paper. Because a lot of people were freaking out. And a bunch of people submitted their paper in time for the October 5th deadline. And I said, I think I said that if you needed more time, you could take it. The question of deadlines is basically if there's two dates and one is later than the other, it's the later date that counts, okay? I'm not much of a stickler for getting things in on time. You see my sign, my motto back there, better late than never. I'm not the kind of guy that makes up a spreadsheet so that if you're 1 day late, you lose this many points, and if you're 2 days late, you use this many points, you lose this many points. What I'm most concerned with is that you're doing your best work. You're writing in a historical fashion, the way historians are supposed to write, and if you're a day late, 2 days late, a week late, it doesn't really make a difference. I'm not a big points takeoff guy. I know I have basically two classes of students here in my classes. One is the more local community college students, but they're also, because they have the dorm, they're bringing in students from the city, who I guess instead of going to, I don't know, Hostos or Kingsborough or someplace like that, are coming up here to go to SUNY Broome. And some of them, are not terribly well prepared for college, okay? But that doesn't matter. Some of them have jobs. Almost all of my students from the local students have jobs. Some of them have kids. Some of them have been to Iraq already, Some of them are taking care of parents, especially during this pandemic. I've gotten, messages, emails that people are, taking care of other people, parents, kids. So I will cut you slack. I cut slack. And the other class of students are the people from the BAP program, and I love you guys. You kind of raise the level here, and you do tend to have better skills, slightly higher skills than the average SUNY Broome student, which is great. But you seem to be a little more anxious about grades and points and deadlines and stuff like that. Just do your best work. Don't freak out, okay? Connected to this, though, is the idea that I'm getting submissions of papers that I can't read right in Blackboard. I have to download them to see them. And that's no good. I can't be doing that. I can't be downloading your papers and putting them in my Word file or Google Docs or something like that. Because then I can't get them back into Blackboard, okay? But I've never submitted a paper myself, so I don't really know how it works. You're really going to have to call the help desk that the information should be in Blackboard and find out what format you have to use to submit papers in Blackboard. I don't know if it works for everything, or I know you don't have to type it out in that little box on Blackboard, but it would really help if all of the papers, all of the assignments came in through Blackboard. Okay. If you lose the formatting, the double spacing or something like that, that's not the end of the world. It's certainly not the end of the world, and I can live with that. But having to download it becomes a problem. It's a real problem. So I know I've gotten some papers through email, and I haven't opened them yet, because in order to open them, I have to put them in my Google Docs program, and then they're there, and it's like, do I delete them at some point? Well, I don't know. You're supposed to hang on to stuff. I don't know. It'd be much easier if it was all attached to Blackboard. Okay. And the last thing I want to talk about, I'm going to. Today is Friday. I don't know if I'll get this. I should get this up by midnight. Today is Friday. Tomorrow I'm going to do a China video, for a China and Japan video for the 117 classes, and a Spanish-American War video for the 131 classes, the U.S. history classes. If you're going along with the reading, I'm going for the 131 class, I'm going to really gloss over the progressives and then get right to World War I, because that's the kind of guy I am. The progressives are important, but they're kind of confusing, and there's just like a couple of points that I want to make about them. All right, so that'll be after the Spanish-American War. Okay, I don't know. I don't think among that first group of students, the community college students, the local students, that there are anybody who plans to continue on in history, either to teach at a middle school or a high school or something like that, or become an actual historian who writes books about history. But I think there might be some among the BAP students, and even for the local people. I have two books here. They offer me stuff all the time. They send. It's like marketing. If they can get me to adopt a book, that means they sell 30, 60, 90 copies. Okay. It's two books that they're. One is was it Jules Benjamin? Jules Benjamin's A Student's Guide to History. This is the 12th edition. I think the first one I saw was like the 4th edition. Okay. If you're planning to take more than this one history class, it might be worthwhile. I'm not requiring these books. But there's a great deal of information in here that might help you in other classes as well. Documenting your paper, how to cite sources in Chicago style, resources for history research, the subject of history and how to use it, succeeding in your history class. I didn't check to see if there was a PDF of this. Sometimes there is, sometimes there isn't. Sometimes it's free. Sometimes it's not. But it was a really useful book to me when I was an undergraduate, thinking about majoring in history. And this one, they just sent me this one. I had older copies of it. This is a pocket guide to writing in history by Lynn Rampolla. Okay, smaller than the Benjamin book. On the front it has historical thinking skills, working with sources, approaching typical assignments, stylistic conventions, research, avoiding plagiarism, documentation. It's the full boat, okay, with examples on exactly how to cite an article in an electronic database, that kind of thing. Bibliographies, images, how to do images. Okay, so I'm giving you those. I'm giving you those as sort of suggestions if you're interested in pursuing history, either as an occupation or just because you have an interest in it. Okay, but this will help you. It won't help you writing physics, doing physics lab reports. But the skills for writing history are the same pretty much for journalism, for sociology, for criminal justice, all sorts of things that sort of historians over the centuries really have set the tone for these things. And if you learn to write evidence-based, papers as a historian or a history student, you can write stuff in those other classes as well. Okay. Is there anything else? I think that's it. I hope everybody's doing okay. I haven't been great with answering the course messages this week. I was out of town for a while, and I did have my computer with me, but I was doing other things as well. So if you didn't get a message, you didn't get an answer to your burning question, whatever it was, I will get to it soon, okay? And the important thing is, don't freak out, okay? You can freak out in your other classes if you want, but there's no reason to freak out in this class, okay? I have actually accepted papers on the last day of class. I had one guy one year, it was even after the last day of class. He put, there were 2 papers due for this course. I think it was 117. And he put copies in my mailbox in Tichenor Hall 210, and he slid 2 other copies under my office door so that I couldn't miss them, okay? But the unfortunate thing was they were both plagiarized, heavily plagiarized, stolen from, I don't know. And it didn't take me long to find that out. So he got no credit for that. But if you handed in a paper at that point, I would consider it. Maybe you won't get the full grade, but you can get close to it. And I would rather have a good paper late than a rushed paper that was, not proofread and sort of a lot of mistakes, grammar and that kind of thing, or shoddy thinking and stuff like that, that's on time, okay? That's just the way I am. Anything else? I don't think so. I think that's it. I'll be doing the videos tomorrow or later tonight, and we'll get on with it. We'll be in the 20th century in the U.S. history class. We'll be in the 20th century. I think it's going to be a little longer for the 117 classes, right? Okay. Stay safe.